Welcome to the demonstration for the rollout for SalesNexus 2013. I want to show you some of the changes we've got in mind, what's coming, and kind of let you know how quickly we're going to have this rolled out. The first thing I'd like you to notice, I'm logged into a sample database, and I'm going to click on the My Record. The areas that have changed in SalesNexus are going to be on the contact level and on the campaign tab. Those are the two areas that have the major changes so far. What I want to do is draw you to the orange ribbon across the top. You're going to see it, instead of having the normal items you had up there, you simply have My Record, Schedule, Send an Email, Add to Campaign, Log a Call, Add a Notes, and one called Other. Now, basically, the My Record is going to work exactly the same way it has before. You click on that, you go to your system record on SalesNexus. Schedule now replaces Schedule a Call, Schedule a Meeting, and Schedule a To-Do. Those were always interchangeable. You could click one and then get to the other. So what we've done is we've combined them to make it easier for you. And when you go to schedule an item, you can now make it your default. So if you normally, say 90% of the time, schedule meetings, you can check this, and then when you save this, for the next time you bring it up, meeting will be your default. So that's going to allow you to quickly go in and not have to think about which one you're doing. So if you come in here again and hit schedule, you'll see that now meeting is my default. This is set at the individual user level. So your default will be different than someone else's default, but it is set so that you can always come up. You can quickly change it, not an issue, but it does remember what you prefer to have your default to be. Now, one of the things that we have changed in the contact is we've removed the Letters tab and we removed the Library tab. You won't see them down here. One of the reasons for doing that is, as you are aware, in SalesNexus, to navigate the database, you came across the top tabs. To navigate the contact, you would go to the center tabs. What you would end up seeing is that in the middle of the contact tabs down here, you would have a Letters tab and a Library tab. They were database-wide. They were not specific to that contact. So what we've done is we've moved them up under Campaign, removed them from here. Now, let's say I need to send an email to the contact I'm on. Quickly, just click on Send Email. This is going to bring up all of the email templates that are set for a single email campaign. I simply pick the one I want. It's going to populate down here. I'm still going to get the to, the from. Same rules about the CC and blind CC. If you send it out to one contact, it's okay to blind CC. If you're sending to a lookup, you don't want to do that. Now, the difference is on a single email, in any of my emails in my system, I can now add an attachment from my library. So I can take an attachment and put it over in the folder for this to go out with this email template that fast. So now every template in your database can live in one folder and can be used with or without attachments. Same rules apply. I can come down here and I can type and be able to customize this template to go out to this user. So once I hit send, it's going to send that email out to that particular user. You'll still find that email template will be saved over in Notes. Now, you've noticed that when I set up that send to email, I didn't have the option that you currently do of sending to a current contact or a current lookup. Lookups are handled a little differently now because we're going to add them to a campaign. So if I've done a lookup, I would simply click on Add to Campaign, have a list of campaigns here that are options. I can pick on one, and now you can see I can schedule the date I want this to go out. I can even schedule what time of day I want it to go out. So I now get to choose the time rather than having the system automatically grab it at the beginning of the morning. I could have it go out at 4 o'clock. I can tell it to go out to the current contact, the current lookup, or a new feature, I can tell it I want it to go out to one of my groups. So all of the groups that you have, before you used to have to go to your groups, go into a contact, pull it up, then it would become your current lookup. Now you can make that a lookup and send to your groups without ever having to go into the group tab and looking them up that way. So you have a few more options. So now if I want to go back to my contact, because I'm not going to schedule this one, now you see that we have log a call. That functions exactly the same way. No changes there. You simply put in your information, choose whether you want to do a follow-up activity or not, and can log the phone calls coming in. Add a note, exactly the same. No changes. You just simply add your note in, save it, and it'll go to notes and history. Now, you will notice there are items missing from the top ribbon, and those are the things that we found in researching that weren't used as often as these features. So under Other, you now have, you can add a new contact, you can duplicate a contact, you can add an opportunity. A new item down here is Mail Merge. Remember when you used to want to print to Word? You'd go to the letters, you'd go to email templates, and then you would tell it to print to Word. Now what we've done is we've pulled it out of the email templates and you click on Mail Merge. This allows you to go in and find your item and be able to click on it, and now you're going to be able to send it to Word. So you just you right click on it, and you've got here, you've got the option to hit print. So I can send it to Word, press to prepare. Now if I'm pressing to prepare, that's keeping it in the web browser. Send to Word means it's going to merge into the text that I need it to and go over into my open Word for me. So it gives you that option of handling your printing features much easier than trying to go through the email templates. You also have the option of when you're in the contacts, you'll see you have these features here. Those are the changes to the orange ribbon. Again, as we said, the Library and Letters tab are gone from down here, but what that does is it frees up more space for you to add personalized tabs down here to handle your information. So you really do have all the functionality you've had in your contact before is still there, with some additional functionality of being able to send the attachments, being able to set your defaults, and a few things like that. Now the other area that has been changed is called the Campaign tab. Campaign tab gives you some options now where before you would be able to see your opens and your clicks. Well, now you're going to see on the campaign level who has opted out of your campaigns, how many emails have bounced on your campaigns. So you're going to know if you have an email template or an email subject line that is causing you grief, meaning people are leaving you because of it. You're going to see it on the template level. You also have the option here of adding to a campaign, meaning I can add my current lookup to this campaign as opposed to having to keep adding a new consistent, a new option for that campaign or a new recurrence of that campaign. I can add my lookup to that campaign. So now I can get a combined report. I can still see date level. Once I go in there, I can see the date level reporting, but I can see an overall, how has my prospect campaign done for the last year? It does the math for you. New feature you've got is you can retire your campaigns, meaning I don't want anybody to add anybody else to this campaign. I want to see the results. I don't want to get rid of them, but I don't want anybody to be able to be added to them. You also have a delete option here, and delete is, I want to delete this campaign off my system. It was a mistake. Right now, you currently have to contact us for us to delete them. We're giving you a lot more power to make your own changes. You'll also see over here to the side, you've got an export capability, meaning you can export your reports here. You've also got one that's called printer friendly. You can make a printer friendly version of it. So it gives you the graphs to be able to see your information. Now you can send that to a printer. You have the ability to drill down into your campaigns. And this is where you can find it out at the template level, how something has done over for that particular template. So now you're going to see the information for that template. You're also going to have, if the information includes calls, to-dos, and meetings. Let's say your campaign has follow-up calls in it. You're going to be able to tell at the campaign level how many follow-up calls were completed. So now you have another way to see if that information was tracked properly. You're going to see it for the individual people. So where this allows me to see who responded here, these are recipients with emails, I can see here how many people opened it, how many people clicked on it. You're also going to see that you can now sort by your open. So if you want to sort and find those people who clicked on it the most, sort by that, you can work them in that level. You also have the ability to say you want to make them your current lookup. So I can just say I want to just go into Collins and Tiger, and I can click on that, click those two, and click make the contacts my current lookup and go into just that information. When I come back, I can come in here and I can go back to existing campaigns. That takes me to the reporting. So I have the options now within the information itself to move around and to find what I want to find. So you have more power within your ability to analyze your reports. So you're going to see here in the orange ribbon the existing campaigns. That's the default page we came into. Email templates. Now you're going to have where you go in to build your email templates. And this is the part of the system that truly has gotten me the most excited. And the reason for that is if I come in here and I open it in the new window, show you how, so I can make it bigger for you, it has some absolutely wonderful tools. You now have the ability to insert a table. I can insert layers, meaning put an image on top of another image. Do some of the fancier stuff that we were limited on before. A new feature is I can embed a video link. So now I can put my video right in my email. I have the option of hiding the elements, so I can, anything you can do in Word, you now have the ability to do in your email templates. It gives you a lot more functionality. The other thing you'll notice when you're on here, if I open this up, you'll look again, you'll see I don't have the mailing list up here. Mailing list is determined once we get past building the email template. So now an email template can belong to more than one mailing list. Before it had to be in the mailing list, that was your only choice. Now that one template can do cross-service for you, so you can use it more than once. Now we've got an add to campaign, and this is a feature that I showed you on the other side. It's exactly the same at the campaign level here as it is on the contact level. I can add to an existing campaign. I can do a current contact, the current lookup, or the groups. Now the thing that will help most people is I can just see the ones that I've recently used. I don't have to scroll through everything to find the ones that matter to me. I can just see the ones that I care about. So somebody else's that you haven't used before will no longer be part of your choice. Also the same thing when you're in an email template and you're trying to send an email template to the contact. If you only use 5 templates, those are going to be the 5 templates you'll see. You can go get the others if you want to, but you only will see those 5 to start with. Then we have Manage Workflow. Before, with the other system, you would create your email templates and then you would go create that campaign, and what we had done was embedded the workflow within the campaign. Well, we've separated those out, and the reason for that is you had no way to make a copy of those steps that became part of that campaign. So the part here where you're creating your list of items that are going to be in that campaign, you had to start over. Well, now, because they're split out where you have Managed Workflow, you can create a copy of one. Just that easy. And what that allows you to do is create the copies of the workflow and then edit a few of them. And you don't have to go in and start from scratch each and every time. So it gives you the ability to work smoother and faster because you are not starting over. So once you've created your workflow, and you all know this tool, it's the same workflow you always did. You do your start date, you hit next, you hit add. This hasn't changed. All these pieces are exactly the same. Come in here, pick your item, you start building your workflow. Then what you're going to want to do is once you have your workflow finished, you're going to click Create Campaign. Now you select which workflow you want. Give it a campaign name. You can assign the start date and the start time. I can even say that I want to start this campaign. Remember how we used to have to build the campaign and then go do our lookup? Well, I can start by doing my lookup, come in here, build my pieces, and I can take my current lookup and automatically start this campaign with it as I'm building it. So you're not, again, going back to the beginning and starting over each time. So once you've done that, you've got your information all set up. You also have the ability here to manage subscription. Now remember before, when you would look at subscription tab, you would have to go in and click mailing list admin to make sure you were in compliance with the spam laws. Well, now it's at the same level. So you still have multiple mailing lists that you can have, but you will be able to see if you're in compliance the minute you hit the tab. You don't have to go looking for it. The next item is the library. This is where we've hit it. So on this tab, what we're going to do is when we come to the tab, you're going to see that you can upload your documents to the server just like before. The difference is, what I can do now is I can right-click on this document and I can tell it to generate a URL. Now, I can grab this information and put that in my email template. So by putting that information in my email template, with the tracking, you know how with attachments you never know, did they get it? Did they open it? How do I know? The fact that you can now leave it on our server, but put it in as a link is going to mean that you can now track who downloaded your document and who opened it. You're also going to make your emails going out the door smaller because they are not attachments on them, so it's just an email going out with a link. So you're going to get better tracking. You're going to get past filters better because you aren't going to have as big of a template going out, and it's going to allow you to handle that information better. You're going to be able to improve your marketing as you're going along because you have control of who clicked on what. Next two items are brand new. Cleanup. Cleanup is where you can go in and say, I want to delete the selected campaign or I want to retire a selected campaign. And you'll see here, this one is a retired campaign versus this one is an active. And to make that a retired campaign, I simply click it as retired. So you have the ability to control what has to be visible on a day-to-day basis and what doesn't have to be visible on a day-to-day basis. Now, why would you retire a campaign? Let's say you've got a marketing blitz that you're trying to do, and it's only going to last 4 months. This is the marketing blitz. It's 4 months. I don't want anybody to add anybody else to that after that period of time. So I'm going to retire that campaign. It is shut down, and now my reporting can't change. I can't go from having 200 people in it to having 600 people in it because you cannot add more people to it. But I can still get the reports. Now, where I would delete a selected campaign is if I made that campaign by mistake. Now, if I delete one, it's going to remove all the history, including everything that's sent. So I really want to make sure deletion is what I want to do, but it is an option now. Now you're going to see stop. Stop gives you the ability to cancel an email from going out the door. So if you've sent an email blast to 6,000 people and you realize there's a mistake on it and you want to stop that campaign going out the door, you simply click on it and hit delete. And that is going to delete the queued emails for that whole campaign. No matter when they went in there, it's going to delete them all at one time. So if you've got a campaign that you have been using for 6 months and it's got 5 months great data in there, but you accidentally sent it to the wrong group of people today, you don't want to go in and hit stop. You want to contact support through chat and ask us to clear that particular email blast. Because keep in mind, as the warning says, it will delete emails for that selected campaign, and that campaign is for a period of time. So it gives you some of the options you've got to be able to control your own data. But keep in mind that chat is still going to be available to you. You're going to come up here, click on chat, ask us how to do something. We'll give you the direction. If it's something that it would be better for us to take care of for you, we will be happy to help you out. The other thing I want you to keep in mind is as we're rolling this out, we are not going to change anybody over without prior knowledge. You will be contacted by us so that you know what's coming. We are going to be offering classes in this Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. There will be live GoToMeetings so that you can join up, see how it works, see what you are having to do in it, and be able to ask your questions. And that way you feel comfortable so that as you're moving forward, we can support you and you can get your business done faster. Thank you. We appreciate your business, and we're looking forward to working with you in the future. Have a great day.